Welcome to Prayer and Bible Band, Lesson 7. I do not own the rights to this music. Today's topic is the sin of lying. The background reading scriptures. 2 Chronicles chapter 18, verses 19 through 34. 1 John chapter 1, verse 10. 1 John chapter 2, verses 4 and 22. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 20. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 6. Romans chapter 3, verse 4. The devotional reading. Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 through 11. 2 Chronicles chapter 18, verses 19 through 34. And the Lord said, Who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake, saying, After this manner, and another saying, After that manner. Then there came out a spirit, and stood before the Lord, and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go out and be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And the Lord said, Thou shalt entice him, and thou shalt also prevail. Go out and do even so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Lord hath spoken evil against thee. Then Zedekiah the son of Chenaanah came near, and smote Micaiah upon the cheek, and said, Which way went the Spirit of the Lord from me to speak unto thee? And Micaiah said, Behold, thou shalt see on that day, when thou shalt go into an inner chamber to hide thyself. Then the king of Israel said, Take ye Micaiah, and carry him back to Amon, the governor of the city, and to Joash, the king's son, and say, Thus saith the king, Put this fellow in the prison, and feed him with bread of affliction, and with water of affliction, until I return in peace. And Micaiah said, If thou certainly return in peace, then hath not the Lord spoken by me. And he said, Hearken, all ye people. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, I will disguise myself, and I will go to the battle, but put thou on thy robes. So the king of Israel disguised himself, and they went to the battle. Now the king of Syria had commanded the captains of the chariots that were with him, saying, Fight ye not with small or great, save only with the king of Israel. And it came to pass, when the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, that they said, It is the king of Israel. Therefore they compassed about him to fight. But Jehoshaphat cried out, and the Lord helped him, and God moved them to depart from him. For it came to pass that when the captains of the chariots perceived that it was not the king of Israel, they turned back again from pursuing him. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture, and smote the king of Israel between the joints of the harness. Therefore he said to his chariot man, Turn thine hand, that thou mayest carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day. Howbeit the king of Israel stayed himself up in his chariot against the Syrians until the even, and about the time of the sun going down he died. 1 John chapter 1, verse 10. If we say that we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his word is not in us. 1 John chapter 2, verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. Verse 22. Who is a liar but he that denieth that Jesus is the Christ? He is Antichrist, that denieth the Father and the Son. Proverbs chapter 19, verse 22. The desire of a man is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. Proverbs chapter 30, verse 6. Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. Romans chapter 3, verse 4. God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Colossians chapter 3, verses 1 through 11. If ye then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Christ in God. When Christ, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things' sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him. Where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all. The central verse for today's lesson. I will read the King James Version first, and then the New International Version of Psalms 101, verse 7. He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house. He that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight. The New International Version of Psalms 101, verse 7. No one who practices deceit will dwell in my house. No one who speaks falsely will stand in my presence. The key terms for today's lesson: deceit and compulsive. Deceit, the act of causing someone to accept as true or valid what is false or invalid. The act or practice of deceiving, the quality of being dishonest or misleading. Compulsive, having the power to drive or urge forcefully or irresistibly, of relating to, caused by, or suggestive of psychological compulsion or obsession. The introduction says, a liar is a person who tells lies. Some of the characteristics of a liar is that he often talks about experiences and accomplishments in which they appear heroic. They are the victim in many of their stories, often looking for sympathy. They tell stories that are elaborate and incredibly detailed. They respond elaborately and quickly to questions, but their responses are usually vague and don't provide an answer to the question. If you notice, it is usually about them. That is one reason they talk so much. They lie when there is no reason to lie. Some people lie when they are trying to cover up something, but a liar tells no nonsense lies. The discussion says the devil is the father of lies, and he tells them to distract and deceive the faith of the believer. For to tell a lie is an intentionally false statement that is told to deceive someone. One of the greatest tools the devil uses against God's people is deception. Children lie because they fear the discipline that they will receive for their actions and to escape an uncomfortable situation. When they lie, there is always a level of self-protection that is involved. But liars lie just to be lying. Liars come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Because the devil does not care about sizes or colors, he will use anyone who allows him to do so. But God is not a man that he should lie, and God hates a lying tongue and a false witness that speaks lies. And that's found in Proverbs chapter 6, verses 16 through 19. God knows how destructive a lying tongue and a witness who speaks lies can be, for they can range from trivial to painful. It is noted that there are several types of liars, which include compulsive liars who cannot seem to help themselves. They just seem to automatically lie. Then there are pathological liars who chronically tell great lies that stretch or exceed the limits of believability. Then there are the sociopaths who are fast talkers, who use words that do not mean and use language to cover their behavior. But whatever the reason a person lies, he must know that the word of the Lord declares that all liars shall have their part in the lake, which burns with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And that's Revelation chapter 21, verse 8. The lives of many people have been ruined because someone lied to them. People are locked away in prison for life because a false witness lied to them. Some people lie so much that they believe the lies that they tell. But the Lord tells the believers not to lie to one another. Lies destroy relationships as well as families. A person who is an habitual liar is an extremely dangerous person who cannot be trusted, nor can they be reasoned with. My mother used to say to us children, "Don't lie to me, for if you lie, you will steal. If you steal, you will kill." That may be a crude way of saying it, but there is much truth in what she said. Parents train their children while they are young to speak the truth, because the word of the Lord says in Proverbs 21 and 15, "Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him." Every human has sin nature in him, but when he accepts the Lord in his life, he accepts the truth and will no longer lie. Lying is one of the dangerous actions that no parent should allow to grow up in their child. So train them not to lie as little ones. And by the time they are teenagers and later adults, telling the truth becomes a part of who they are. The conclusion says, a person who chooses to tell the truth even when it is harmful to them is a person who has great character. They are people who are willing to bite the bullet and take the consequences of their actions. You can't count on them not throwing you under the bus. Some people just have a lying spirit in them. The story of Jehoshaphat and Ahab talks about the lying spirit. King Ahab asked King Jehoshaphat if he would join him in attacking Ramoth Gilead, and Jehoshaphat told him yes, he could count on him and his troops. But then Jehoshaphat told him, "But first I must ask God for guidance." Jehoshaphat, the king of Israel, got 400 prophets together and asked them. They agreed, for they all answered yes. But something did not seem right in the king's spirit. So he asked if there was another prophet that he could ask and get a second opinion. Ahab told him yes, but he hated him because he never prophesied anything good to him, only doom. Jehoshaphat sent for the prophet Micaiah, who told them the truth of what God said. Of course, Ahab was not happy with what prophet Micaiah said, but God allowed a lying spirit to speak, and they obeyed the lying prophet, and it meant their destruction. The questions for today's lesson, and you can search the scriptures on your own. Question 1. What is destructive about lies? Question 2. What are some of the different types of lies? Question 3. Why does God hate liars? The Essential Thought says, when a man puts his confidence in lies, he can expect destruction. The end. God bless you, and thank you for joining me today.